Hey, what's up everybody? This is D with KickinBassTV. Today we're going to be showing you how we caught a handful of nice largemouth bass at one of our local lakes and give you some tips on what kind of lures we're using for this end of winter, early spring. So if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button down below and stay tuned. Alright guys, so today we're back up at Kendrick Lake in Lakewood, kind of just fishing that same area where we caught that 3.6 pounder on Tuesday. Now that the water temps are getting into the low 40s after the warm weather that we've had recently, we're finding that we're having some success on these lipless crankbaits, specifically this red craw imitation crankbait. And this is just a standard cotton cordell $3 lipless crankbait that you can pick up at any of your local tackle shops. And we're employing that same yo-yo method that we spoke about in the previous video. And if you missed that video, basically all you're doing is you let that crankbait out, let it fall into the lower water column, rip it until you feel that vibration in the rattle, and then reel on your down motion as you allow it to drop. And what that does is it emulates a dying shad or a weak shad in the colder temps, and they'll slam those things. They're absolutely slamming these so far. This was our second cast out, and as you can see on the scale here, 1.44 pounds. So not a bad start to the day at all. We got a couple of pics of this guy, and then we threw him right back out there and tossed another line back out, tried to catch another one. While the majority of the ones we've been catching are within the first 30 feet of the shoreline, we're still throwing out as far as we can for a number of reasons. Number one, there's still plenty of large bass lingering out in that deeper water because the water temperatures haven't quite gotten up to where they want for pre-spawn and to bring them up into the shallows. Number two, the ones that are active and moving around up in the shallower water, you don't want to spook them by throwing directly on top of them, so it's to your advantage to throw a little ahead of them and work your lure naturally past them, just to be sure that you don't spook them. Now this little dude, he had missed our first fish that we caught, so he was pretty stoked when he saw that we had one when he was on his way back on his scooter. So he jumped off, he got to check out the fish up close, and he came down to the shoreline and helped me release him back into the water, so he was definitely pretty excited. Unfortunately, I don't have a backlight on this particular scale that I'm using right now, but what I did was I enhanced the color on this so that you guys could see this one came in at 1.33 pounds. So we got a couple of pics of this guy, and then my little buddy came down there and helped me release him back out into the water, and he definitely got a kick out of this as the bass kind of thrashed around and couldn't find his direction, but he put on a good show for the little dude. What we did on this next cast was we tossed it out on just the other side of this pump inlet here, and that line runs another 30-40 feet farther from where you see that pipe start to submerge there, and it's supported by a concrete wall. And this is great because bass absolutely love any kind of structure underwater, and anything that's partially submerged will absorb the heat from the day, and it'll increase even 1 to 2 degrees, and the bass can definitely tell the difference in that 1 to 2 degree temperature change, especially in this colder water temperature right now. So they love to hug up against any kind of structure like that, specifically concrete walls. As you can see, this one followed us up, choked the lipless again, and this was the biggest catch of the day yesterday. This was a 3.49 pound bass, and it's a little bit smaller than the one we caught the other day here, which was 3.6 pounds. Like I said, we don't have a backlight function on the scale that we're using right now, but what I did was I isolated the frame and enhanced the color so that you could see what the scale actually read, and I got this one set 3.49 pounds. So overall, pretty decent day of fishing considering we caught all of these fish in just under 20 minutes at the lake. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If nothing else, it's inspired you to get out there, get after some of these early pre-spawn bass because they are definitely more active right now. As always, the best way to support us here at KickinBassTV is to hit that subscribe button down below. Until next time, I'm D with KickinBassTV.
Subscribe!